Hello. I have to remember how long the music plays for. Yes, we are back in Subnautica. It is very warm here, so we'll see how well my computer is going to hold up. The plan is to maybe continue building our base a little bit.
Meters. Oxygen efficiency decreased. Passing 200 meters. Oxygen efficiency greatly decreased.
Power restored. All primary systems online.
Just waiting for all the startup messages to show up and sound. So yeah, we could expand the base a little bit, give it a, I think we were working on a power cell charger, although we don't technically need it. But in the meantime, I should build some planters actually. But while we do that, I want to actually start reading some of the lore and wait for more radio messages to come in. In the meantime, interior modules. These are one. No, they're 2 titanium. Or 4. I think we can get away with just 1 plant pot.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Let's get a basic plant pot. Need to remind myself what the buttons, what all the keys and buttons are, because I've been playing some more bookshop simulator yesterday.
Welcome aboard, Captain. All systems online.
Get one of these. Well, I need some more of them actually to eat. I want to plant one of them. There we go. I'll also turn off the lights. I'm not sure if it helps with power usage. It might do. I'm going to build this first. Whoa. That's not... Oh, I had already constructed it. There we go. Let's listen to another message.
Aurora survivors, this is trading ship Sunbeam. We've tracked your distress signal, but your ships left a substantial debris field up in orbit. We can't attempt a landing. We're gonna have to head home. We'll send our data to Altera as soon as we can. Hold on in there. Sunbeam out.
That might be one of the last radio messages we're going to get, because that is... So what normally happens... spoilers. What normally happens is that you go up onto the island where we disabled the like defense system, the planetary defense system, and what normally happens is they are going to come up to the planet, and they're going to tell you, oh, we are going to pick you up in this location, we found some dry land, which is at that massive, like, sky gun. And as they are coming in, the sky gun activates and shoots it out of the sky, which is what also happens to, what happened to the, what was it called? The one we flew in with, I forgot the name. Aurora, that's it. So that is what normally happens, and the crew on board the Sunbeam die. But because we have disabled the gun, like, they're still not going to pick us up. And I had read somewhere that this is how it works, that this is a message that you can hear, but I don't think I've ever actually heard it. So that's a fun one. But yeah, they are not going to land because there is too much debris out everywhere. Which will also come to play later in one of the cutscenes. Yes, let's go read some stuff. Advanced theory. Oh yeah, we have a time time capsule. Basic survival toolkit. Unforeseen complications forced us to crash on this distant marvel of a planet. We were only 3 survivors, but our luck ran out quicker than we thought. This planet is a blessing and a curse. If you want to survive, you will need to dive deep into its ecosystem. But take heed, the horrors that lurk in the dark are not fond of our kind. I am the only one left now, sparing you the gruesome details of the demise of my fellow crew members, departing soon, leaving this planet for good, dead or alive. I will leave this capsule behind for any unfortunate soul that may be sharing our grim destiny. Basic survival supplies listed as follows. A compass module, so that you'll never lose your way. A modified thermal blade, fauna repellent, basic cooking. A first aid kit, for cuts. A ration of processed compressed nutrients, 2000 kilocalories. 2 rations of purified filtered water, 150 ounces. Don't forfeit your life through idle self-pity. You will live if you never stop moving forward. Sadi. I don't know if this is a person or if it is the game, basically. CT 488639589. Hello, lost survivor. I finally got out this planet. I hope this will help you survive. If you don't know what to do, go deeper, and the answers will follow. I hope you go back to Earth and find a nice place, and find a nice planet, not the one I left, destroyed by money and pollution. So, care for each other and respect nature. That's the only way to survive. Bon chance. I remember X. And this is from a player. Don't give up hope. This planet can be survived. You can thrive on it. Everything you need to keep going and escape can be found within arm's reach. All you need to do is look. Salvage what you can from the wreckage. Use the natural world around you for the rest. Keep your radio on. Keep your radio on scan and check it often. Someone somewhere out there will be looking for you. If I could do this, you can do this. Good luck. Captain of the Pequod. P.S. I'll probably be bad by the time you found it. It'll probably be bad by the time you find this capsule, but if you can salvage the seeds from the Chinese potato I'm leaving in here, plant it in your habitat and replant it often. As for the green cube, well, you'll see. Survival package. 2-berth emergency life pod. Standard features. Short-range radio, 250 kilometers uninterrupted range. Wall-mounted fabricator for survival equipment manufacture and for rendering organic substances edible. Medical kit fabricator. Onboard air brake and flotation device for land, sea or space recovery. Solar power cells, 3 times. Emergency exit in floor and roof. Standard provisions. 2 times all environment protection suits. 2 times ready-to-eat nutrient blocks. 2 times drinking water provision. 1 time emergency medkit. 2 times emergency flares. NB. Some life pods may be equipped with different supplies, such as radiation suits and replacement parts. Bought the right life pod for the right situation. All environment protection suit. The Altera AEP suit, a single solution for a universe of infinite danger. You are currently wearing the AEP suit, a hermetically sealed personal environment designed to withstand the most extreme conditions in the known universe. Onboard temperature and hydration regulation, compatible with range of attachments, slimline build for maximum freedom of movement, biometric sensors, contextual heads-up display. AEP suits should always be equipped before lifepod launch, in case of hull breach. I do wonder why it had fins, if they didn't know that we were going to land in water. Aurora ship status. Ship class, Altera long-range capital ship. Mission, Ariadne. Oh, it's Ariadne. I think I've heard that name before somewhere. Ariadne Arm phase gate installation, 3-year operation time. Crew, Command Team 23, Engineering Team 85, Support Crew 40, Passengers 9. Status, sustained heavy damage in orbit of planet 4546b, cause unknown, evacuation data unavailable. Engineering section, Dark Matter Ion Drive Core V8, manned robotic suit. Suite, Advanced Scanner Suite, Long-Range Communication Relay. 0.25 cubic kilometers storage for Facegate. Apparatus. Habitat section. Accommodation for 150 people. Multiple canteens serving healthy, fresh and rehydrated food. Leisure facilities include VR suite and virtual cinema. We've not seen the VR suite and virtual cinema. Start here. We did not start here. Start here. If you are reading this, then you have survived an emergency evacuation of a capital-class ship equipped with Altera technology. Congratulations, the hard part is over. Your PDA has automatically rebooted in emergency mode. This operating system has one directive: to keep you alive on a hostile alien world. If that is not possible, it will alert salvage teams to the location of your remains. It features full monitoring of vital signs for timely survival advice, blueprints for fabricating a range of essential survival equipment tailored to your environment, onboard camera, microphone, and OCR technology for short-range situational analysis, cross-compatibility with all Altera-compliant products. NB, your personal and work files have been encrypted and may be retrieved at a later date by a licensed engineer. Survival checklist. 1. Administer first aid if required. 2. Take inventory of available materials and supplies and decide on rations. 3. Survey the environment for threats and resources. 4. Construct necessary survival equipment using the lifepod's fabricator. 5. Check lifepod for damage and repair as necessary. 6. Broadcast local distress signal using lifepod's short-range radio. 7. Locate other survivors using line of sight or the radio. 8. Find or construct a more permanent habitat. 9. Maintain physical and psychological health until rescue. NB. This information is meant as a general guide. In the first instance, you should always follow the advice of your PDA, which has taken your particular circumstances into account. Warning: Blueprint database corrupted. Damage to your PDA's hard drive has corrupted approximately 80% of stored survival blueprints. Blueprints may be reacquired by scanning a salvage technology using the handheld scanner or by downloading plans from a shipboard databox. In the circumstances, these assets will most likely be found among wreckage of the Aurora. We have done that. Indigenous life forms. I don't think I have scanned too many of these. Although I have, maybe I have scanned quite a lot of them. I don't quite know how many I did and did not scan. Brain coral. A permanent growing colony of microscopic organisms. This coral species has adapted to filter carbon dioxide from the environment, using the carbon to build the colony, and expelling the oxygen from specialized exhaust funnels. It is quite hardy, suggesting samples from a mature specimen could be grown artificially. Assessment: air tanks are equipped to siphon oxygen from the water where possible. Coral shellplate. This variant of coral has adapted to survive in close proximity to other corals, filtering nutrients from the water and sharing them via spore-like substances. Let's read that again. Filtering nutrients from the water and sharing them via a spore-like substance which grows around the base. Assessment: no practical applications discovered. Giant coral tubes. The variety of coral formations on 4546b appears to be different solutions to the same problem of maximizing water and nutrient flow throughout the colony. These particular variants funnel water down a tube, filtering nutrients as they pass. Their size suggests they have been highly successful. Assessment: coral tube samples are rich in calcium, exploitable in bleach fabrication. Huh. Have I not made bleach yet? I'm sure I have made bleach. Table coral. Each disc is an individual colony of microorganisms filtering nutrients from the water. Growth patterns indicate the colonies are in direct competition for positions with superior current or light. Unlike other coral species, its structure is malleable, softly pulsating as it pumps nutrients to its extremities, and only turning rigid when it senses physical assault. The jewelry-like nodes in the surface are concentrated build-ups of rare minerals the coral is unable to process. Assessment: exploitable in computer chip fabrication. That's probably because of the high concentration of rare minerals. Tree mushrooms. Analysis of these large organic structures reveals a microcosm of cooperating, cohabiting, and competing life forms. The main trunk is a species of coral, some colonies up to 50,000 years old. The caps, which line it, share more in common with earth fungi. Other organisms grow on the structure wherever there is space and light. Surrounding waters are dense with herbivorous life forms in the 1 mm to 10 mm range, to the extent that larger herbivores appear to have mostly abandoned the area. Assessment: exploitable. Doesn't say how. Let's go to flora first. Acid mushroom. A common spore-bearing fungi species. The flesh contains a highly acidic compound, which leaches into the water if the outer skin is penetrated. It is not clear which predator species necessitated such extreme countermeasures, but the acid mushroom's numbers suggest it has successfully deterred most of them. Assessment: inedible. Acid has applications in battery fabrication. Bulbo tree. A bulb-based flora which roots to the ground and sprouts turquoise leaves. Analysis suggests the sap produced by this plant is poisonous to insects, but can be harvested and consumed by humans for its high water content. Assessment: edible, high in water content. Chinese potato plant. The Chinese potato is common throughout the China territories, where synthetic foods are still stigmatized, and there remain large tracts of arable land on which to grow fresh produce. Genetically designed prior to the expansion, this plant is highly adaptable to different environments and a staple of new colonies galaxy-wide. Assessment: edible. Creepvine. A kelp species concentrated in large forests in shallow, sandy waters. Loose roots anchor the plant to the sea floor, from where it grows steadily towards the surface in pursuit of sunlight. The stem is fibrous and rich in iron, making it both a valuable base material for fabrication of textiles, as well as a basic foodstuff. Assessment: vital alien source, edible, construction applications. Creepvine seeds. Mature creepvine plants that have survived the predation of small herbivores produce these bioluminescent seed clusters, which may be knocked loose by currents or consumed and later deposited by predators. The embryo is surrounded by a thick oil and silicone layer, which would disperse into the ground as the outer skin deteriorated. This may provide the seedling with nutrients it needs to survive the low light conditions on the seabed. Assessment: vital alien source, construction applications. Deep shroom. A discolored relative of the acid mushroom adapted to low light conditions. Considerably more acidic than its shallow-dwelling cousin, it may have applications in advanced fabrication. Assessment: can be processed into hydrochloric acid. Gel sac. These organic structures grow on cave walls. The purple sacs which arise from the surface contain a low-density gel laced with spores. These burst from time to time, floating towards the surface and attaching onto the next rock face they encounter. While the gel sac is edible, its low density renders it an invaluable advanced construction material. Assessment: edible, aerogel construction application. Lantern tree. A conglomeration of individual vines which rely on one another for structural support. Grows exclusively on fertile land. Each vine produces orange, lantern-shaped fruits with minimal nutrition and hydration value. Assessment: edible in an emergency. And still I like them, because they grow quite a lot of lantern fruits. Marble melon plant. This plant collects water from the air rather than relying on its root system, and produces large, fleshy fruits, which are both edible and have atypically high water content. Edible. Assessment: edible, high water content. Land plants. Fern palm. This specimen was first identified in an artificial grow bed on the island. It is not listed in existing flora databases, so it is unclear whether or not it is native to this planet. Genetic code shares some features with other local plant life, but this may be the result of DNA transfusion rather than natural evolution. Jaffa cup. A common land fungus, not a plant. Is fungus flora? Maybe a fungus does fit with flora. Jaffa cup. A common land fungus found in clusters. Grows quickly. Size is limited only by available nutrients and space. Pink cap. A land-based fungus species with harvestable spores. Inedible. Speckled rattler. A brittle land plant containing large spores which generate a characteristic rattle when the plant is shaken. This may act to ward off predators or even encourage predation as a means of spreading the spores. It looks a bit like a mushroom. Voxel shrub. A pink-leafed plant. Those leaves are green, they're not pink. Unless the things at the top are leaves. A pink-leaf plant with an angular appearance which grows exclusively on land. Not much more to say. C. Bulb bush. This aquatic species has evolved to grow in deep, sandy environments and to conserve its hydration levels against relatively extreme external temperatures. The root system can fragment the shale rock it grows on to form a deep anchor point, allowing predators to graze but not easily uproot the entire plant. This grazing will tend to dislodge parts of the plant, and each section is capable of growing into a fully formed adult plant, explaining the concentrations of bulb bushes in some parts of the world. Assessment: edible in small quantities, high water content. Cave bush, a purple luminescent species which grows well on hardy terrain away from sunlight. Crabclaw kelp, a blue-tipped kelp species which tends to grow in or near to acidic brine pools on the ocean floor. These brine pools are hazardous to most life forms. However, the crabclaw has adapted by developing a thick, inflexible root system which can withstand the environment and which raises the sensitive blue feeding nodules above the level of the brine. We've seen a lot of these in the Lost River. Drooping stinger. 1. 0 photosynthetic cells detected. Implies carnivorous adaptation to low-light environments. 2. Follicles along the tentacle are capable of detecting contact with foreign bodies, triggering an electromagnetic charge in the 600-watt range. Prey is likely paralyzed and consumed over many weeks. Prey: small fish. Assessment: avoid. They seem to do more poison damage than electric, but apparently it does electric damage. Eye stalk. A cave-dwelling tuber dotted with luminescent photosensitive eyes. These eyes may in some way direct the twisted growth of the stems themselves, possibly in reaction to other light sources, proximity of cave walls, or other environmental conditions. Furled papyrus. I think we scanned this one on the back of a reef back. The function of the distinctive curled leaves on this aquatic plant is not immediately clear. It is possible the leaves unfurl in low light conditions, or that they are designed to channel water currents through the main body of the plant, thus enhancing nutrient take-up. Ghostweed grows exclusively in deep waters where its pale pigmentation is visible on the fewest wavelengths. Giant cove tree. Oh, it's a ghost leviathan neck. A vast tree encountered in a deep cove, and the only one of its kind encountered on the planet. The tree is surrounded by rays grazing on its pink outer leaves. Bark. A hardy, fast-growing bark covers the outside of the tree. Minuscule organisms inhabit the notches in the surface. Ghost leviathan eggs. The tree's branches are wrapped around a number of maturing eggs belonging to the species designated ghost leviathan. This tree appears to be an ancient nesting ground. The eggs were laid when the tree was young, and now the branches protect and grow with them as they await the right conditions to hatch. Let's see. Our tree has not grown anything yet.
Welcome aboard, Captain. All systems online.
Vital signs stabilizing.
Let's... Nope. Nope. There we go.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Where were we? Had that, we've had that. We were at the giant cove tree. Jelly shroom. Oh yes, those. A life form unique to a microcosm located in a cave system deep within the grassy plateaus, where a high concentration of carnivorous life forms wards off smaller predators. Consists of a tough, trunk-like base, from which grows a fragile purple membrane. Membrane structure suggests vulnerability to predation, but evidence thereof is lacking. Unknown defensive mechanism, possible symbiotic relationship, predators, none defined. Membrane tree. This entity defies neat categorization. It consists of more than one coral species working in tandem to create an insulated microcosm enclosed within a translucent membrane. Found exclusively growing on basalt rock in the Grant Reefs, the homeostatic conditions within are considerably warmer and more dense with microbial life than the outside environment, and the bright purple fauna inside will likely die off quickly if exposed. Redwort. A common plant adaptable to many different environments, the redwort is a staple of the diet of many smaller herbivores. Regress shell. This specimen is composed of a complex series of regressing rings connected by tendrils. Rogue cradle. A complex cave-dwelling flora specimen. The bright yellow core of this plant is protected by a rigid cage, presumably to ward off medium-sized herbivores. Sea crown. This plant consists primarily of a large bladder-like sac containing a huge variety of bacterial species, which may enable it to break down complex compounds it draws from the root system. Shares large sections of genetic code with the membrane tree. Environment scans indicated this plant is rare to the point of extinction. Spiked horngrass. While it shares a close genetic similarity with bloodgrass, this species has evolved to house its root system in rigid, horn-shaped enclosures. Veined nettle. A common shallow water plant which frequently shows signs of predation around the edges of the leaves. Thick violet veins carry nutrients to the extremities of the fan, and brightly colored seeds grow around the base and stem. Violet bow. A common luminescent plant which grows in patches on the seabed. Some of these really don't have a lot going around for them. Writhing weed, which does not have a picture. Well adapted to both shallow waters and cave systems, this plant lives in symbiosis with a coral species which forms around the base of the stems, but we have no idea which one it is. That was the flora. Deceased. Let's go from the bottom up, shall we? Scavengers and parasites. Shuttlebug. A common scavenger at the base of the food chain. 1. Oh, it does actually point to things. 1. Mouthparts. Small enough to be of little threat to most organisms, this creature is clearly adapted to feed on the waste products of the ecosystem around it. 2. 3 mandibles. Used to orient themselves when drifting and to filter through detritus on cave floors. 3. 3 legs. High-strength muscles can propel the life form great distances through the water, as well as ambulating them across the seafloor. Have I ever seen one of these walk? I don't think I have. Assessment. Necessary waste recycler. Presence may indicate nearby cave system. Cave crawler. We've definitely seen these walk, but we've seen them, and we've seen them walk. Agile, territorial carrion feeder, well adapted to both land and sea. I mean, they also kill, or at least they try to. 1. Gas exchange membrane. It's the eye-looking thing on the back, I think. Absorbs essential gases from the air or water for basic bodily regulation. 2. Mandibles. This species seeks out corpses in packs before defending its claim while the corpse is devoured. Assessment. Necessary waste recycler. Avoid or incapacitate. Bleeder. We've definitely seen these things. They were in the hull of the when we were trying to fix the radiation leaks on the Aurora. Bleeder. A simple parasitic organism, little more complex than the common space stick, but just as dirty. 1. Ductile sac, which is the back here. Used for collection and digestion of blood drawn from host creatures. 2. Jaw. Rows of teeth and mandibles used to attach to the skin of his victims. 3. Behavior. The bleeder's low speed and poor defenses suggest they have evolved primarily as carrion feeders, but they are also prone to target larger living creatures, which are less likely to notice and take action against this parasite. Assessment. Inconvenient and unhygienic. Avoid or incapacitate. Ancient floater. This is what keeps one of the islands up. Biodata suggests these vast floaters have matured in an ingenious symbiosis with the land they have attached to. The attached landmass is raised in the water, increasing sunlight and encouraging plant growth. As older plants decay, organic residues and nutrients seep into the rock and are consumed by the floater. These circumstances must have held for thousands of years for a floater to reach this size. Life cycle. Immature floaters are born near the surface, from where they sink to the seabed, attaching to any stable surface they find on the way. Those individuals fortunate enough to attach to a digestible nutrient source will grow in size, thus increasing their buoyancy and drawing whatever they are attached to closer to the surface. In extreme circumstances, a number of floaters may attach to a Leviathan-class life form, forcing it to the surface and effectively asphyxiating it. The body will be consumed over a number of months until eventually dissolving, leaving the floaters free to attach to a new host. Those creatures which successfully raise a landmass to the surface are rewarded with a burgeoning and permanent food supply, allowing them finally to reproduce and begin the cycle again. Assessment: incredible. At first I thought it said inedible, but it doesn't, it says incredible. I wonder if there is any way to attach these things to like a Leviathan somehow. Also, I forgot to do something, which I want to do real quick on Twitch. Because I need Twitch open to actually edit the stream data. Also, we should probably go for a break, see? Want to add a tag. Reading. Well, sort of reading aloud, isn't it? Done. Also, yeah, let's go for a couple of minutes break, and I can drink some tea. I will be right back. we are back. I need to actually boil the water next time. I had some tea left that I drank, but my kettle is not fast enough to boil in 3 minutes, I don't think. So I'll boil it next time. Let's continue. We have one scavenger or parasite left, which is the amoeboid, which is a cave-dwelling organism. A simple, non-sentient organism bound attached to land with high levels of fossilized organic matter. It feeds on this matter until it reaches maturity, at which point it divides to create two new, genetically identical offspring, and the cycle continues. So they're all genetically identical in that case. We now get to the leviathans. There's one that we haven't scanned, which is very close by, so maybe I will do that before we continue to the small herbivores. But let's first get through these three. Sea Treader Leviathan. A vast bipedal leviathan. Bipedal? It doesn't look a lot bipedal. Oh, one of them might be his mouth. A vast bipedal leviathan which roams the reefs in herds, grazing the seafloor. 1. Antennae. It doesn't have numbers on the picture. 1. Antennae. Antennae on the creature's head can detect a range of scents, helping the sea treaders to find fresh grazing pastures, avoiding the path of large predators, and sense chemical signs from others of their kind. Carapace. Thick armor protects the creature from attack by all but the largest of carnivores. 2 legs extend from the rear. Elongated snout, used to siphon up plant material from the seafloor and maintain balance. 4. Behavior. Large herds would decimate the flora of a single area, thus encouraging the sea treader's migratory behavior. Families keep their young toward the center of the herd, and parents will lash out at over-curious interlopers in search of an easy meal. Assessment: sea treader herds may unearth mineral deposits as they churn up the sand. Sea Emperor Juvenile. We were not able to scan the larger version. A juvenile emperor specimen. It is producing a highly potent form of enzyme 42, which should be capable of fully curing individuals of the alien bacterium. This species hatches relatively fully formed and independent, perhaps reflecting the fact that they must fend for themselves when they are first born away from their parents. This specimen is healthy and exhibiting signs of a positive attitude to life. Well, they do look happy. They're a little bit like puppies. Reefback Leviathan. This vast life form is in excess of 30 meters long and has been designated Leviathan class. Fortunately, it feeds exclusively on plankton-like life forms in the water. Does this have numbers? It does! 1. Chitinous shell. Most of the life form's topside and some of its underside is protected by a thick, layered exoskeleton. This suggests an evolutionary path quite different from other organisms on 4546b, most of which are vertebrate in nature. The reefback species has likely been able to grow far larger than other herbivores because anything large enough to break through its shell has long since gone extinct. Enzyme pods, number 2, it's at the back. Similar in appearance to the algae glands of the gasopod, these organs on the reefback's underside serve some unknown purpose in its digestive system, and are capable of expelling small quantities of stomach enzyme into the surrounding waters. 3. Local microcosm, which is in its tentacles? An array of different barnacle and plant species grow on the reefback shell, thrusting their roots into the ancient scars in the chitin, and taking advantage of their mobility to avoid predation. Nonetheless, reefbacks will often be pursued by the faster, hungrier herbivores, and thus this leviathan species is a mobile microcosm worthy of years of study in itself. 4. Life cycle. Reefbacks' lifespan likely extend through many centuries, should they survive their initial growth cycle. For the first few decades of their smaller size would make them vulnerable to carnivorous leviathans. Sociable, seen traveling in small pods and communicating by an echoing call, behavior is consistent with low-level sentient. Assessment: harbors plants, small fish, and metal-rich barnacles. Let's go scan the ghost leviathan. That'd be a fun thing to do. Actually, we need to
Welcome aboard, Captain.
we're going
All
to
systems online.
eat something first. Well, and drink, probably. Alright. I think I'm just going to go with this. We should be able to be back in time. I also didn't scan the other Leviathan. The one that destroyed the sea moth. I think there is a ghost Leviathan near this place as well, but I know for sure there's one up here. I don't quite know where the other one is in the cave system. Also not sure if we scanned these long-legged crab-like things. Oh, those, actually. I think I might have scanned one of these. I did not. Oh, that's the wrong way. Oh. Where is the Leviathan? I can hear it. Oh, there it is. I hope we're not gonna run out of oxygen. Oh, it's a juvenile. Alright, now let's get back quick. Bit of a dangerous endeavour, this one. I wonder if the other one is an adult. Maybe. We'll get some of these crabs after we get some more oxygen. I don't know that the crabs are wandering around down here.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
This one. I can't scan it. I think I saw something I could scan. Oh, I'm not. I don't have the scanner. That's why. Wrong tool. This one will probably be in a category we've already read, I think. I could check if the other Leviathan is an adult. If I remember how to get there, I think it might be that way. There's a lot of ghost weed here. Pretty sure it is this place. Leviathan, where are you? I think it's there. Why are you so far away, Leviathan? I just want to say hi. We might not actually survive this. No, it's also a dream now. Ow. No adults in this place. Do I have a medkit on me? I do. That's probably a good idea. So yeah, the Reaper Leviathans will not be down in this cave system, so I cannot scan one of them. Alright, let's see what we've got. Yes, we have another scavenger slash parasite, the blood crawler. An agile, territorial scavenger that moves in packs across the seabed, closely related to the amphibious cave crawler but adapted to deep-sea conditions. 1. Legs. That's not pointing to the legs, but the greatest difference between the crawlers on 4546B are the 4 legs, which extend more than a meter from the blood crawler's torso, allowing it to move at surprising speeds across the seabed and even to scale walls. 2. Torso. The blood crawler can lower its entire body to bring its mandibles within grasping distance of the carrion on which it feeds, while retaining the maneuverability it requires to avoid its predators. Assessment: necessary waste recycler. Avoid or incapacitate. Ghost Leviathan Juvenile, aka the basking shark. This large predator has adapted to live in deep waters and dark cave systems, attacking anything and everything in its quest to grow larger. 1. Torso. The soft outer membrane and elongated body enable superior navigation of tight cave environments. This plays some similarities to other eel-like predators in the area. However, the Ghost Leviathan has covered over the electrical prongs on its inner torso with a taut, transparent membrane which delivers superior maneuverability. Diet. In its juvenile state, this leviathan feeds on larger herbivores and unfortunate members of its own species. They display a remarkable rate of growth, which shows no sign of stopping, suggesting that they must abandon their hatching grounds before they grow too large and make for open waters. Assessment: avoid. Herbivores, small. Spinefish, that's the one that we see a lot here. A small, school mentality prey fish, closely related to the hoopfish. Grey coloration, a combination of near-translucent flesh and wide rib-like markings give the fish a deathly appearance. It takes advantage of this to avoid the attention of its predators. 2. Behavior. Moves in schools for protection, but will disperse and flee if necessary, whereon those fortunate enough to escape the gaze of their assailants will make for the sea floor and hide among the detritus. Assessment: edible. Low calorie count. Doesn't look very calorific either. Peeper. A fast prey fish encountered in shallow waters and rich in protein. What the hell was that? I think one of the rays just swam through the base. 1. Developed side-facing eyes, capable of discerning color not just in shallow waters but in a variety of lighting conditions. It is also able to close its eyelid, thus preventing light from reflecting off the lenses and rendering the peeper almost invisible to nighttime predators. 2. Powerful fins. This species has evolved powerful fins which enable rapid acceleration in still waters and the ability to leap meters into the air to avoid pursuers. 3. Beak. Likely used to break down corals in tough vegetation. An unusually large nasal cavity serves no obvious purpose and appears to be specifically evolved to detect a single specific enzyme. Nothing encountered on the planet so far produces a matching odor. I am pretty sure we know which enzyme that is, though. It's enzyme 42, which is why they end up in the facility, the alien facility thing. 4. Expulsion tubes. The tubes attached to the peeper's torso are connected directly to its stomach and gills and appear to be designed to expel its content on demand. Purpose unclear. While the peeper is well adapted to survive in shallow waters, a number of its features serve no discernible purpose. It would appear to be just as well suited to survive in deeper waters and is somewhat more intelligent than the usual small herbivore. Assessment: edible. High calorie count. Further research required. Hoverfish. A small, cautious herbivore, commonly found in kelp-rich environments. 1. Charged footpads. 6 unique limb appendages feature charged pads capable of ionizing the surrounding water. The hoverfish uses this ability to maintain its position against the currents as it feeds from kelp and lichen. Assessment: edible. Also cute. It has a very cute face. I like it. Also color. It's a good color. This fish is weird. You don't see it very often. The Gary fish. Slow-moving and curious herbivore. Camouflage indicates adaptation for evasive behavior on the ocean floor. 1. Eye stalks. May be beneficial when watching for predators from hiding places among the coral. 2. Behavior. More active during daylight hours, but slow and docile at all times. The Gary fish's survival depends on a combination of camouflage and predators who can get a more filling meal elsewhere. Assessment: edible. Boomerang. These are fun. A herbivore encountered in small numbers found to frequent shallow waters and move in schools. 1. Serrated tooth. Suggests adaptation for grinding corals other herbivores are unable to digest. 2. Twin fins. Unusually, the species' two fins are cartilaginous. Cartilaginous. Unusually, this species' two fins are a cartilaginous extension of its skeleton. They are less prone to damage and provide superior propulsion, but are also harder to grow back. The bright blue tips are, in fact, the end of its digestive tract, where the luminescence of the corals it consumes is most focused. Bladderfish. This unusual herbivore appears to be mostly defenseless and bears little resemblance to the other life forms around it. Semi-permeable bladder. The bladderfish is able to filter air and seawater into its body cavity through a unique membrane which surrounds its spine like a bladder. This allows it to remove and consume organic particulate caught on the way and adjust its buoyancy. Open-ended vascular tubing. Can be angled and contracted to pump out water and achieve low-velocity guided propulsion. Largely oblivious to threats and practically immobile at night, its only identified defense mechanism is that it's composed almost entirely of water, air, and cartilage. Assessment. Edible. Oxygen may be retrieved from the bladder and added to tanks on consumption. Membrane has applications as natural water filter. Herbivores. Large. Jelly ray. These live in the mushroom forest. This species has adapted to low-light environments with a translucent, luminescent body. 1. Luminescent body. This adaptation may help to light up the surrounding area for foraging, ward away predators, and identify the organism to others of its kind. Light sensitivity. Smaller creatures have been seen swimming in the jelly ray's wake to take advantage of the light source for their own ends. And the ray itself will approach light sources, perhaps mistaking them for others of its own species. Ghost ray. These are the ones in the environment we're in right now. This ray species has adapted to deep-sea conditions. Its body is fully protected by a translucent skin, and its large wings are capable of generating considerable thrust. 1. Poisonous flesh. As is common for rays on 4546b, the ghost ray's flesh is inedible, making it one of the more resilient herbivores. 2. Feeding behavior. Feeds on plant matter that has settled on the ground in deep-sea caverns. Assessment. Inedible. This one also has the toxic sign on the image. Gasopod. This one looks like a creature from, like, I'm gonna say a steampunk movie. It has the goggles and the gas mask. A slow-moving life form and one of the larger herbivores on the planet. Providing a substantial meal to would-be predators, the gasopod protects its domain by filling the surrounding water with poisonous and corrosive pods, whose contents dissolve even sympathetic fibers. Give me 1 second. Yes, just had to check something. Filtration system. Thick, non-reactive skin and multiple gill layers render this creature impervious to the noxious acid clouds it produces. 2. So it does work like a gas mask. 2. Algae gland. A bulbous, sac-like appendage on the rear end. A luminescent yellow algae grows inside the sac and produces the poisonous compound. Abdominal muscles can contract, causing the algae gland to admit the noxious compound into the surrounding water. My screen just flashed black for a second. Large pelvic fins. Capable of powerful movement through the water when moving in small herds. 4. Behavior. Gasopods appear to be social in nature, and may even use their emissions in their relationship rituals. Their audible calls are likely signifiers of nearby threads or food sources. Assessment. Approach with caution. Acidic pods may be retrieved and repurposed. I think, have I done that at any point? don't remember. Cuttlefish. This is the egg we hatched. A small, grey-collared herbivore, the cuttlefish displays high levels of intelligence, curiosity, and attachment. Strangely, this species has not been encountered in the wild, and the scanned specimen had to be artificially hatched within the alien containment unit. 1. Life cycle. In the absence of wild specimens, little can be known for certain about the cuttlefish's life cycle. It is possible that environmental conditions have changed, forcing the species to the edge of extinction and leaving its eggs in a permanent stasis. It is also possible the cuttlefish has been genetically altered or even imported to 4546b from another world. 2. Behavior. We do know that the cuttlefish is a herbivore which displays highly social behavior in its interspecies interactions, as was observed in earth dolphins before their extinction. This creature seems to understand the concept of other minds, the prime indicator of true sentience, and attempts to communicate with a series of chirps and chirrups. 3. Interaction. Evidence suggests the cuttlefish is capable of understanding and following simple commands, in addition to it assessing the emotional state of individuals around it and responding in kind. Assessment. Emotional connection between living creatures is an essential component of psychological health. Game is like, keep this thing as a pet, it's good. Deceased. Sea dragon skeleton. The semi-intact skeletal structure of a Leviathan-class predator. 1. Head trauma. There is clear evidence of massive physical trauma to the head. The damage is so severe it was likely the cause of death and must have occurred somewhere nearby. Damage is consistent with a high-speed collision with a solid object. 2. Age. Something in the environment has helped to preserve these remains, but calcium decay suggests an approximate time of death 1,000 years ago. Bone growth suggests the creature was in egg-laying stage of its life cycle. Ribcage samples. A display case containing an array of rib cages harvested from indigenous life forms. There is a particular focus in this instance on the vertebrate skeletal structures. While some of these skeletons match organisms encountered on the planet so far, most cannot be matched with confidence, suggesting either that there are species out there not yet accounted for, or that they have become extinct since these samples have been collected. Remains of research specimen. The skeletal remains of a vast predator housed within an artificial habitat. 1. Habitat. The environment constructed to house the specimen suggests it was kept alive in containment for research purposes for months or even years. Organic matter indicates the habitat once supported extensive plant life, though it has since decayed. When the facility collapsed, the specimen was either left to die or killed on the spot. 2. Evolution. While it shares some skeletal traits with the biter and sand shark, including its distinctive double-eye sockets, this fossilized specimen is significantly larger and features unusual forearms rarely seen in aquatic species. This species has likely gone extinct in the past 1,000 years, and its evolutionary relatives have evolved almost beyond recognition. Oh yeah, it does have 2 eyes on each side. I'm not sure why the skeleton has eye bags under it. Mixed Leviathan fossils. These fossils likely came from the ancient ancestor of the Leviathans which inhabit the planet today. The relative size and delicacy of the bones suggests they formed part of the ear canal or some other complex internal structure. That's probably one of the display cases. Warper. An aggressive creature with the ability to teleport itself and others in space. No genetic crossover identified with indigenous life forms. Demonstrates no recognized defensive behavior. 1. Head. Mechanism located in the head region provide its warping capability, which it uses to stalk its targets. 2. Torso. Appears to hunt other life forms, but no digestive organs have been identified. Internal structure considerably more complex than other known organisms, unable to distinguish whether organic or artificial in nature. Assessment. Further research required. Maybe this is the thing that was like hunting all of our crew. If it could be artificial in nature. Because I did mention in the previous stream.
Stabilizing.
I mentioned in the previous stream that we had a radio broadcast which was talking about how, or several radio broadcasts talking about how agents had been deployed to attack the new threads, and that one of them was unaccounted for, which is probably us. But that we've not seen anything artificial that actually attacked us, so maybe it was these things. Stalker teeth. Extended analysis of acquired dental samples has been completed. Samples matched to species designated stalker. Stalker teeth exhibit extraordinary lightness and strength and contain only trace amounts of calcium. The edges show signs of wear and are studded with metal flakes, providing evidence that the stalkers chew on metal deposits in order to sharpen their teeth. Assessment. Applications as natural substrate in enameled glass fabrication. Stalker. A streamlined predator encountered in the kelp forests in wait of prey, leaving the safety of the shadows to feed. The stalker likely carved out its evolutionary niche at the sweet spot between speed and size millions of years ago, and may be one of the oldest species on the planet. The stalker appears to be attracted to titanium deposits, which tend to sharpen and put stress on its teeth. As with many predators, it may be possible to temporarily distract hungry stalkers by feeding them. That is also something I have not tried. Teeth. The stalker's teeth are unusually hard and fast-growing. Its elongated snout can deliver huge biting pressure to larger attackers, while also being used to reach small herbivores seeking refuge among the rocks. Night vision. Retinal layering on the eyeball suggests adaptation for nighttime hunting. Dorsal ridges. These ridges can be moved independently to deliver superior maneuverability. 4. Pelvic fins. Long and powerful, the stalker has evolved to hunt the fastest of prey. Assessment. Stalker teeth may have applications in enameled glass fabrication. River prowler. That's the one that we just scanned. A fast, agile predator discovered at great depths. 1. Jaws. Powerful jaws used for both savaging prey and warding off larger predators. 2. Torso. Its eel-like torso is highly vulnerable, consisting predominantly of spinal column and cartilage. It shows significant overlap with other eel-like predators on 4546b. 3. Attack profile. It will aggressively keep its jaws facing its opponent, but smaller, faster life forms may have the advantage. Assessment. Avoid. Crash fish. These are the things that explode if you come too close. This unusual species has developed an emergency defense mechanism based on mutually assured destruction. 1. Forward-mounted eye. Enables the creature to identify and track potential predators. 2. Sulfur plant. The sulfur plant has evolved to feed on sulfuric compounds secreted by the crashfish, which makes its nest within its leaves. Stronger, more protective plants provide superior nesting grounds, which in turn provide the plant with more nutrients from larger crashfish. 3. Defense mechanism. Concentrations of sulfur build up in the organism over time. If the crash fish collides with something at sufficient speed, the spikes on its torso are impacted, triggering an explosive chemical reaction. Assessment: equip stasis rifle, propulsion cannon, or similar before approaching shallow caves. I don't think I've ever done that. Again, like a lot of the stuff they suggest in here, I just never bothered with. Bone shark. A large and powerful predator that lives in small groups and fiercely defends its hunting grounds. 1. Thickly armored exoskeleton. Suggests defensive adaptation either to larger predators or in-species aggression. Marked similarly to the segmented exoskeleton of the sand shark, suggesting a relatively recent common ancestor. We did not scan the sand shark either. 2. Large eyeballs. Consistent with high light sensitivity, likely for hunting of luminescent prey in low light environments. Generally slow and unresponsive as a means of energy conservation, but will act in uncompromising speed and aggression against any threat to their territory. Assessment: avoid, may be distracted by light sources. Geological data. Limestone outcrops. These unusual geological structures often form around titanium and copper deposits and are distinct to this planet. Closer analysis reveals the stone around the metal has been hardened against erosion, but the mechanism remains unknown. Assessment: titanium and copper source. Magnetite. Magnetite is an iron oxide, valued for its magnetic potential among other qualities. It is used in many Federation technologies, including solar and torpedo systems. Assessment: essential for advanced fabrication. Nickel ore. Nickel is a medium-hard, ductile material used extensively in production of strong metal alloys. It has applications throughout the construction industry. Assessment: essential for advanced fabrication. Ruby. A hard, blood-red gemstone made of aluminum oxide. Rubies may be processed in order to leverage their structural integrity in advanced vehicle construction and modification. Assessment: essential for advanced fabrication. Most of these are essential for advanced fabrication. Sandstone outcrops. These common, porous outcrops seem to form around small amounts of precious metals, or otherwise these metals are part of the sedimentary buildup over time. Assessment: lead, silver, and gold source. Scattered wreckage. Analysis confirms this wreckage is from the aurora. Outer layers from the material have oxidized, suggesting it has been heated to over 1200 Celsius. This pattern is consistent with hull disintegration during atmospheric entry. Salvage of intact portions of Altera vessels is prohibited at legal, moral, and technical levels. However, scraps, such as these, may be reclaimed for their titanium content at any Altera fabricator. We're not allowed to scavenge, but we did. I mean, we are Altera, so we're probably fine. Shale outcrops. This sedimentary rock is formed from flakes of clay minerals, inside of which rare metals such as lithium can be found. Geological conditions on this planet mean it tends to be found in deeper biomes. Assessment: gold, lithium, and diamond source. Uranite. Uraninite. Uraninite is a naturally occurring uranium oxide. Highly radioactive and unstable, its primary use is in the production of uranium reactor rods for nuclear generators. Assessment: applications in nuclear power. Speaking of which, I'm curious what this thing says now. I'm not sure it ever, uses these rods. You just stick 4 of them in here and it goes. I think. I'm not gonna stand too close because it does make a noise. Data downloads. here again. Yes. There we go. What can we learn from the hive mind of Strader 6? How are the individuals which make up a hive mind to be categorized? Are they merely dumb components of the larger, intelligent organism, or is the larger mind merely a product of the independent organisms? Can it be both? We define organisms by their traits, but find invariably that these traits depend on those of their environment. The concept of a tadpole is meaningless without the concept of the frog it will develop into. The idea of a predator is empty without an understanding of its prey. This begs the question, if we define everything by reference to everything else, what have we actually explained? An illustrative experiment was recently performed on the hive mind colony discovered on Strader 6. A device was placed outside the nest which would electrocute individuals approaching it. An ant colony would have lost many individuals before a basic danger signal was successfully communicated between them, resulting in learned avoidance of the device. Successful, but costly. The Strader 6 colony quickly formed into two factions. One attempting to move the device by brute force, sacrificing individuals as they did so. The second attempted to cover the device in sand. These two goals being mutually exclusive, a fight ensued. The first faction was beaten in virtue of their reduced numbers. The device was safely buried, and the survivors called a truce. From the perspective of individuals, this experience must have been horrific. From the experience of the hive mind, a nagging problem had been overcome with the most effective solution. Which perspective is the correct one? We suggest that it is neither. By attempting to fit such entities into our rigid set of concepts, we are painting onto the world a false impression of concreteness and meaning, which is a reflection of our concept of ourselves. We describe Strader 6 individuals as attacking one another just as we describe microbes in the human body, yet the Strader colony, like the body, cannot be healthy as a whole without the aggressions of its components. We describe neurons in the brain as being dumb, but our brain as a whole as intelligent. But when an idea takes hold in the brain and forces our inferior ones, do we describe this as an act of aggression? Do we mourn dead neurons? When a philosophy or a technology takes hold in human society, when wars are fought over them and people die, is that rightly seen as being good or evil? This is not to undermine the meaning of our existence. From where we stand, our existence is very serious indeed. But is our civilization and our universe really any different from the colony on Strader 6? Is intelligence something limited to things of flesh and blood, or is the universe truly one giant intelligent system, and we but amoeba blowing self-important potholes in its surface? We would do well, as scientists, to remember that our goal is not to paint the world as we see it, but to see it as it truly is. I'm not sure where we did get this bit of data from. Certainly an interesting one. As I think I've mentioned in one of the earlier streams, or maybe I haven't and I've just thought it, like, I've never read through most of this stuff, so I'm not sure what is all in it. And it is interesting to learn. Transgov profile, Altera Corporation. One of the largest suppliers of spacefaring technologies and consumer electronics in the Federation. The official supplier of TSF, consistently ranked among the galaxy's best employers. Began life as a defense manufacturer in the mid-22nd century. National motto, get what you deserve. Although most Transgov Although most transgovs can trace their roots back to Earth, Alterra, literally meaning the Earth, is the only one brazen enough to take its name. During the expansion, Alterra supplied arms to all sides, acquiring and housing a vast colonist workforce and making the transition from manufacturer to corporate state. Alterra's threat to seize trade was one of the turning points in the conflict, bringing about the end of hostilities and signing of the Charter. Free enterprise within Alterra space is encouraged, but competition is tight and all goods exported off-world must be Alterra branded. Profitable businesses are bought out by the state, owners ascending to the board of directors. Well-known Alterra technologies, like the Cyclops submersible, originated with such private enterprises. Despite superficial similarities to national governments, the corporation's lawyers have always maintained that it has no legal obligation to its employees, but voluntarily elects to take the role usually served by a democratically elected government. This claim has not yet been tested in Federation court. There's something in the way, so I struggle to read the lower bit here. Today's menu, I think we have... This one probably came from the Aurora. I'm struggling to find the name there in my own data bank. Today's menu. Starter, Space Bear Volute. Since their introduction to the interstellar vacuum in the 21st century, microscopic tardigrades, or space bears, have adapted and flourished where no other life form have survived. Condensed into a smooth, nutty, protein-rich soup, they are the freshest local ingredients available to travelers on long-haul spaceflights. Main, cottage pie or nutrient block. Rehydrated minced beef in its own gravy, served with a topping of mashed Chinese potato, picked fresh this morning from unpulled grow beds, and a side of sautéed Chinese potato plant leaves. For the time-conscious consumer, the usual nutrient block options are available. They may be consumed cold or reconstituted at the on-site fabricator. Dessert. Dried fruits and nuts. Unfortunately, a recent accident in Cargo Base 3 involving the incorrect application of a propulsion cannon in combination with a modified battery charger resulted in the venting into space of all dehydrated desserts. Fruits and nuts will be the only available dessert for the next 39 weeks. Whoops.
Fluid intake.
Someone made a mistake there.
Vital signs stabilizing.
Welcome aboard, Captain. All systems online.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
We're also getting close to break time, so I might take this time to boil my water and have some tea. I'm not used to reading or talking this much, so it's quite a lot of reading. I could do with the occasional break. So we're gonna do that now. Go for about roughly 3-minute break and see you back after that. If I can find what I need to do that. There it is. As I suspected, 3 minutes was not quite enough for me to boil the water. So I do have my hot water now. I can't drink it yet, but that should be good for the next break maybe. Might do a shorter one at some point so I can actually drink something. In the meantime, let's continue with Responsible Autonomous Relationships. Foreword by Jenny Eckhart. All the good things in life are commodities. We trade love just as we buy and sell stock. We engage in human relationships when there is a fair exchange of value. Support, motivation, affection. Nothing good is ever free. If physical good in the Federation came from a single supplier, it would constitute a dangerous monopoly. Personal relationships are the same. It is important for people to get what they need from multiple sources. If a person finds a better source of the goods they require, they are not wronging their original supplier. One second. If a person finds a better source for the goods they require, they are not wronging their original supplier by changing their purchasing arrangements. If one member of a relationship should feel threatened or jealous, they must look at their own business model and ask whether it is performing competitively. There is always room for improvement. Now that I don't agree with. I mean, not really anyway. I think it is good to also consider the other person when it comes to relationships, because it is not a one-way street. In the same way that you can't demand someone to be in a relationship with you, or stay in a relationship with you. Like, if it really isn't working out, then sure, you need to end it, but like, try and end it like normally, not in the way that, oh, I go to this supermarket all the time and there's a new one and this one is better, so now I'm going there without telling the first one I'm going to leave. That's not quite how relationships work. I would be curious to know what the rest of the book is like. Relationship contract legal recording. Now I don't have to read. This one has voice acting.
Listen, I know I don't have the right to make demands of you, but I need you to understand that I want to change our arrangement.
I hear what you're saying, and I will try to respect it. How would you like to change it?
I would like to reduce our contact hours.
How much further can we do that?
To 0.
You're dumping me.
I'm changing the terms of our relationship.
How is it still a relationship if we don't see each other?
It's a relationship of a kind. You have so many expectations.
I feel you just want to spend more time with that dumb guy in his dumb robot suit.
That's not a feeling. It's a judgment. And I feel hostility in what you're saying. Perhaps your jealousy is a sign that you need to take another look at your business model. Why can't you just be happy for me?
I am happy for you, and I'm happy for all the guys in the prawn bay. I'm just not happy for me.
This is why I want to change our arrangement.
As I say, like, relationships. It's written by a different person. I thought maybe they were involved in this conversation, but they are not yet. No, relationships are a little bit different. Let's go on to the next one. Alterra launches the Aurora. Phase gate announced for the Ariadne arm. Alterra launches the Aurora. The furthest reaches of inhabited space are due to expand, as Alterra Corp launches a newly constructed capital ship carrying a phase gate bound for the Ariadne arm. The Aurora will travel from space dock on the edge of Alterra space, making hundreds of consecutive phasegate jumps through 9 different Transgov authorities, and arrive on the far side of the Ariadne arm in 3 months' time. From there, the command crew will pilot the ship beyond the final space gate, arriving in the next solar system approximately 18 months later. There, the elite team of engineers will begin a 6-month construction project on the new phase gate, a multi-trillion credit investment. In the absence of existing infrastructure in the region, the vessel is equipped with advanced thermal and nuclear power facilities. Alterra Corp currently operates 9% of all phase gates in the galaxy. If the Aurora's mission is successful, Alterra will have outmaneuvered a cabal of Mongolian corporations operating in a range of outposts and mines in the region. Alterra Olm's pamphlet. Charity is an archaic concept which the realism of today's Alterran has rendered obsolete. We understand that we are each responsible for ourselves, but the best way to get the most for ourselves is to work together with Alterra. The implication of this reasoning is clear. If someone is in need, they must find a way to be needed. That, too, kind of sucks. I mean, Alterra is not a good corporation. It did say somewhere in one of the earlier things that the employees are very happy with it, but no. I don't actually think they are. Alterra Arms is a training academy for those that need to be needed. We are not a charity because we don't ask for handouts. We prefer to think of ourselves as a philanthropic beneficence facilitation service, or something like that, promoting synergy between employer and workforce. AA operates on a lottery system. By investing any number of credits, you will be entered into our prize draw. Larger investment yield higher chances of winning. Your credits will go towards training unskilled colonists in vital tasks such as maintenance and interpersonal skills. The colonists receive this training voluntarily and free of charge, on condition of a minimum contract with one of our investors on completion of their training. I've done something similar to that, sort of. I've done a traineeship for programming. They did not end up finding a place for me, so I eventually found a place for myself. But the idea is that I could end the contract. In this case, you probably can't because it is a sort of dystopian sci-fi future. Yeah, I found something for myself after that. VR Sweet Log. Loading program. Desert Island Drama VRAT. VR80. Size 3 players. Resources normal. Spawning players on beach. Player 1 has been washed away by unusually high tide. Player 2 has traded a coconut with Player 3 for 10 credits. Player 3 has planted a coconut. Players are getting hungry. Player 3 has grown a coconut tree. Player 3 has eaten a coconut. Player 3 is no longer hungry. Player 3 has traded a coconut with Player 2 for 30 credits. Player 2 has eaten a coconut but is still hungry. Player 3 has traded a coconut with Player 2 in exchange for building a tent. Player 3 is sleeping inside their tent. Player 2 is gold. Night falls. A passing ship is offering trading. Player 2 has traded 30 credits for a musket. Player 3 has been shot twice in the head while sleeping. Player 2 wins. Player 2 has died from cold and starvation. Well, nobody wins in that case. After you win, you can still lose. Drive core shielding breach. The Aurora's drive core is shielded by a thick metal shell, which breached in multiple locations shortly after the crash. Once breached, it will continue to leak radiation into the surrounding environment until the breaches are sealed. After that point, the radiation in the environment will dissipate over time. This procedure should only be attempted with appropriate radiation protection and a fully charged repair tool. Or fins that charge your repair tool as you swim around. Aurora Black Box Data. Initiated slingshot maneuver around planet 4546b. High velocity energy pulse detected on planet surface. Emergency distress signal sent to Altera. Listening buoy via long-range relay. Impact detected. Lifeboat base on starboard side compromised. Outgoing communications compromised. Emergency evacuation initiated. Manual piloting transferred to Captain Hollister, who is the guy who said, I'm going to give us a soft landing, this will be fine. Lifeboats 1 to 25 launched successfully. Entering planetary atmosphere. Massive impact registered. Drive core shield compromised. Emergency bounce backs received from 8 lifeboats on planet surface. Human life signs detected over long range at T+2 hours. 1. Personnel unaccounted for. Non-essential system maintenance chief Riley Robinson, which is us. We are Riley. I didn't know what our name was, but we are Riley Robinson. Altera HQ solution received at T+8 hours to high priority terminal in captain's quarters. Monitoring equipment failed at T+13 hours. Altera HQ. Last recorded transmissions.
Average long-range transmission delay, 8 hours. Opening last recorded transmissions.
This is an emergency distress call. Aurora is on collision course with planet 4546b. Sending all available environmental data. Please respond with rescue solution. Out.
This is Altera HQ. Attached to this message, you should find the blueprints for an escape ship that we calculate will be capable of breaking orbit and getting you back to the nearest phase gate. Now, it's designed to use materials you can find in situ, but it's gonna need one hell of a power source. Now, we'll be sure to...
Aurora long-range communications relay offline.
I think a lot of these are also, like we have heard a lot of these already, but I'm going to play them again, because that also will give me some more time to drink my tea. So I'm going to mute myself and go through these and also scroll down in the text so you can actually read along if you are interested. I should probably start from the beginning because I will start with these. I'm going to read these myself, and then we are going to continue with these logs because we want them in chronological order this time. Aurora Auxiliary Mission Orders. Mission: Search and Rescue. Target: crew of the Mongolian vessel Degassi. Last known position: vicinity of planet 4546b, Ariadne Arm. Contact: Mongolian emissary Yochi Kassar, Aurora passenger quarters. Oh, okay. So the Degassi survivors were not in our ship, but somehow our captain's voice sounds awfully similar to the person who survived down here. So the Degassi was another vessel. Mission brief. A Mongolian vessel, the Degassi, disappeared almost a decade ago, carrying with it high-ranking Mongolian chief. Corporate insurance has purchased passage aboard the Aurora for emissary Kassar, and your orders are to make every reasonable effort to locate and retrieve the Degassi crew members without compromising the primary mission. Confirming the fate of the crew will aid Altera's diplomatic efforts with the Mongolian councils. Mission details. Aurora is due to perform a slingshot maneuver around 4546b, Category 3 ocean planet, approximately 13 months post-launch. This will bring the ship within range of the Degassi's last known position. Additional aquatic and all-terrain vehicles have been included in the Aurora's cargo package for this mission. Degassi Crew Manifesto has been distributed to senior employees in a separate message. Degassi Crew Manifest. Margaret Maida. Auxiliary Search and Rescue Mission. Margaret Maida. Position: freelance security personnel. Status: lost in space near planet 4546b. Age at time of disappearance: 42. Mercenary, born in Mongolian states. Experienced in ship-to-ship and close-quarters combat techniques. Tours of duty with the Mongolian Defense Force and the Trans-System Federation. dishonorably discharged from the TSF 15 years ago for going off mission. Details classified. Emissary Kazar reports Maida was hired to accompany Paul Togal on board the Degassi into uncharted space and defend the ship in case of assault by pirates or rival corporations. So now I'm going to mute myself and we will go through these logs in chronological order. Or at least I assume that they show up in chronological order in this in this log thing.
I thought it might get claustrophobic living underwater. Father feels it is. He'd tell me it was childish, but I stare out the window and sometimes I think how lucky I am to see this world up close. Back on the island, I wouldn't have believed the creatures that live down here. The fish, they glow. There's one that's 90% eyeball. Snakes twice the length of a habitat compartment. Certainly, it's not all friendly. Most of the plant life is toxic. Learned that the hard way. But I've managed to coax some marble melons into growing indoors. And when they don't cover our dietary needs, well, we eat the fish themselves. It's a bit gross, but it's nothing they wouldn't do. I've been attempting to document my findings. Father approves. He says understanding is power, that the more we know about this planet, the more we can use it to our advantage. I'm just doing it because it's fun. It's not easy without proper equipment and network access, but the old-fashioned way, observing, taking notes, testing theories, shows me the world in a way a spectroscopic analysis never could. Lately, I've been watching the crab snakes. They ambush their prey as it tries to feed on the mushrooms they hide in. What they don't eat settles on the seabed, which fertilizes the mushrooms, which feeds the herbivores, and so the chain continues. Co-evolution gives me the fuzzies. Something incredible just happened. Since we're down here, I had this plan to build equipment and study the life forms we were encountering, but I didn't have enough enameled glass. So, I started looking for a natural substrate that would strengthen the glass we have, and those stalker teeth we've been finding fit the bill. Only, well, we needed more. That's when Marguerite got interested. She actually listened to me, more than I can say for Father, and I worked up the courage to talk about my more tentative theories. When I told her they were attracted to metal deposits, that their teeth get dislodged when they pick them up, her eyes narrowed and she dashed out of the room. 3 hours later, she came back, her pack loaded down with stalker teeth. I asked her about it. She shrugged and said my theories were good. Said she had the meeting out of the palm of her hand. I think she meant it literally. She is incredible. She went out to the kelp forest armed with just a heat blade and went fin to fin with a pack of stalkers. On the one hand, that is the coolest thing I have ever heard. On the other, I hope the stalkers didn't come off worse than Marguerite did. She had a huge gash on her forearm. I don't think things went as smoothly as she made out. And what's the point in surviving here if we have to kill everything that makes it so wonderful? I wish I knew more about these animals, but Father won't let me leave the habitat. Maybe with all this glass, we could build a containment unit and get up close to them. This is the first time I've seen sunlight in months. After all that time in the deep, I'd been dreaming of it. Now that I'm back here, I'm finding it hard to enjoy alone. Father was right. We should never have left this place. We shouldn't have gone so deep. They do not want us down there. Despite my best efforts, ill health is taking hold of me. The visions are getting worse. Marguerite and Father are now part of the ecosystem of this incredible planet. It's reassuring to know that when I go, I'll join them. Until then, well, there's always the view.
So they are not in chronological order. They are in order of, like, you've got the voice logs are all in order, and the but logs are all in order, and then presumably the other ones are also sort of in order, like Paul's logs. But some of these come between what happened in here. Also, I was looking at this waveform, and it does not match the actual audio. But I'm just going to continue doing these in order as they are presented here, but yeah, they're not in chronological order, unfortunately.
This island is a godsend. Look out of the window. No predators, fresh food.
No building materials, nothing left of the ship, and your kid says we're gonna starve without more grow beds. Speak up, kid.
It's true, Father. The natural growth rates are too slow to keep supporting us.
All I'm saying is ocean's got us surrounded. No use hiding. Sooner or later, we'll get our feet wet.
The rest of your life may have been a fight, Maida, but I've made my decision. You want to forfeit your emergency pay to take a swim? Go ahead.
Believe me, I'm thinking on it.
Son, I said wait for the storm to pass. Your life's more valuable to me than a plant patch.
You stopped being in charge when the ship you were captaining sunk.
I'll stop being in charge when you take charge of yourself.
Say, Chief. Chief!
What?
You know how to drain those grow beds of 40 tons of stormwater? Or how to conjure food from there?
I know how to prioritize.
I'm just saying, if that's so, what's your boy's life worth to you today? If tomorrow you're gonna be so hungry you start wondering what he tastes like. Let him go deal with the plants.
Son, go deal with the plants.
Bard, Torgal has disembarked the habitat.
Interfere with my family again, and when rescue arrives, I will leave you here. Do you understand me?
No rescue coming, Chief. Not in time. And no staying here neither. This rain keeps falling, sooner or later this place will be buried. Only choice we got is whether to get buried with it.
What is that thing?
I don't know. I found it outside in the sand.
Part of another ship?
None I've ever seen.
It's not even scratched.
Don't fool around with it. It might be worth something.
Stand down, Chief. If it were gonna crumble to dust, it would have done so when I picked it up.
It's glowing.
We're not the first people to come to this planet.
People. Maybe. Could be aliens. Could be the damn sea monsters for all we know. One thing for sure, we ain't gonna find out by staying here.
Son, there is always a pecking order. And in our world, money makes a hierarchy. I pay Maida a fraction of what I pay you, and you a fraction of what I pay me.
If money makes the hierarchy, why is Marguerite making the decisions?
We need her. We let her think what she likes, so long as she does what she's told.
What if she doesn't?
For enough money, she will. People always do. We're already 200 meters below sea level. You want to go deeper?
Look around us, Chief. Water leaking through the hull, water outside the hatch. We're drowning real slow. If rescue arrives, whatever shot us down, it's gonna do it again and again until it's shut off. You see an off switch around here, Chief?
Why would it any more likely be half a kilometer down?
Your kid found something on the scanner. There's something down there. Something that shouldn't be.
You're mad.
I'm going all the same, and I have an idea you two are gonna follow. But if you do, be mindful. Your authority stopped at sea level.
Please, stop fighting and listen. We're sick.
What?
How?
You've been coughing, right? Feeling itchy? Blisters?
Yeah.
The biometrics would have warned us if we were sick.
It's something new. It's not in the database.
Come on, then. What's it gonna do? Turn us inside out? Dissolve us into jelly?
It's an alien bacteria. It's everywhere. Every organism on this planet. It's altering our genetic code.
How are the creatures surviving if they're infected?
I don't know yet.
Want me to cut some of them open for you? Find out what makes them tick?
No. Just tell me what you need, son. Materials, equipment.
Just... Can I have some quiet? I need some time to think.
Margaret, Maida has boarded the habitat.
What are you so happy about, Maida?
Say, kid, I brought you something.
Is that a Leviathan outside?
Towed it home on the back of the sub.
You killed that thing?
It's still breathing. I was about to finish the job, but I can stay and chat if you'd like. No? Then make yourself useful and pass me that hardened blade.
Are you out of your mind? You brought that thing here? What if it's not as dead as it looks? What if others come?
You prefer it got curious and came of its own accord, or got messed up and dragged here?
When we get off this planet, I am going to drag you through every court in the damn Federation.
Seek fluid intake.
I have had it with you, risking our lives.
Oh, stow it, Chief. The kid can't kill this disease without fish to study. I'm just bringing him home.
But tell her. Tell her I'm right.
You're both wrong. Marguerite, I can't find out how they resist the bacteria if you slaughter them all.
It ain't always they oblige in coming in alive.
He means you're being reckless.
Father, the outcome's no better if we hole up in here and don't go outside. But we have to find a middle way.
There is no compromise. Not while she's on my sea base.
Your sea base?
I'm going outside.
Bart, Torgal has disembarked the habitat.
Bart, come in. It's dangerous. Damn it, boy. I know you can hear me.
Chief, get off the radio and put on your helmet.
What?
Brace!
Ooh, looks like I have some reading to do. Environment log. User Bowl Torgal requested cross-referencing of local environment scans with ideal habitat construction conditions, displaying results. Large subterranean cavern with multiple entrances. Conditions support a unique microcosm of predatory life forms. Minor structural instability in cave walls. Extensive resource deposits. Average environment safety rating C. Optimal habitat site safety rating B. Site 7 has been selected as the optimal habitat construction site for the following reasons. Close proximity to one of the cave entrances in case of emergency. Medium distance from predatory organisms. Stable foundations on which to build. Ready access to materials. A signal tracking the site has been created. That is probably about the sea base that is 500 meters below sea level.
Chief's log, 5 weeks since the crash. The only other survivors are my son, Bart, and Maida, the cut-price mercenary I commissioned for the journey. After days drifting in the life pod, rain hammering on the roof, the weather cleared and we washed up here. I had Maida salvage the Degazi wreck, set Bart to finding us a stable source of food. His education is paying off sooner than I'd anticipated. Our only problem is Maida. She says the weather's going to turn. I say she's finding excuses to risk our lives. I imagine she's not gonna weaken her life without a physical altercation, and she's itching for a fight. In every judgment she makes, things go from bad to worse. If she had my experience, she'd have more faith. Humans have spent millennia specializing in how to shackle nature to our will. This planet won't cause us any new problems. My one task now is to keep us alive, as comfortably as possible, until the insurance company arranges rescue. In this part of space, that could be months, or even years.
Seek fluid intake immediately.
You know what Maida told me today? She wants to build a habitat 500 meters below sea level, more than a kilometer northeast of here. And she needs Bart and I to do it. She's got it into her head that she can save us if she just acts recklessly enough. But I've hauled Star Wars to Neptune, Plasteel to the Federation. This family operates 9 different mining colonies across the Ariadne Arm. Maida thinks she's better suited to lead. Her contract still says otherwise. But I just cannot damn well tell whether it's the stupidest idea I ever heard, or my only hope. I turned 80 years old last week. I thought I had another 80 in me, but marooned on this planet, there's no swapping out of my liver when the old one fails. Here, I'm mortal. And Maida is useful. So, it's my responsibility to make a decision. Return to the island and hope whatever knocked the Degazi out of the sky won't do the same to the rescue ship. Or take us deeper in search of answers. And all the while be hoping old age gets me before the sea monsters do. I'll give Maida just one thing. She was right about these caves. There's enough lithium there to fabricate 100 tons of plasteel. Enough for a damn fleet of Cyclops submarines. There was nothing anyone could have done to avoid crashing here. But I was right to order the detour. If we get off this planet, they'll be talking about the Torgal share price on the other side of the Federation.
Seek fluid intake. Vital signs stabilizing.
Came out of nowhere. An alien kraken, bigger than a cyclops. Tore a hole clear through the reinforced hull. I barely got my breather in time. I told her. I said others would come. The rupture threw me clear of the habitat, and the monster turned and bore down on me. Just as its tentacles came within reach, Maida appeared out of nowhere. She had a sea glide in one hand, a jagged piece of scrap metal in the other. She meant to butcher that beast or die trying. The last I saw her, she had the metal lodged in its neck as the monster did its best to shake her, contorting off into the darkness. I'm certain she got her wish, one way or another. Then I thought I saw a light deep below me. I hoped maybe Bart had swum clear. I followed it. Now I wonder whether I saw anything at all. Our oxygen is low. The habitat is gone. I can't see the sky. Something surely has the scent of my blood.
If they had a rebreather, which I'm assuming they didn't, and a decently sized oxygen tank, they should have been able to swim to the surface. I'm not sure if you can without all of that. Because I have swam down, up, and to that point, but I don't know what kind of upgrades I did have. Also because he mentioned that he only just in time had his stuff on. But yeah, I think all three of them probably would not have survived here, even if it weren't for the illness, because they're just too different. Maybe if you had 3 Maidas, it would have been... Actually, no. 1 Maida probably would have survived. I'm not sure if 3 of them together would have gone that well. Bart seems to be the most level-headed. I think I might give him and Maida the best chance of surviving. I don't think... what was his name again? Paul. I don't think Paul would have survived this long if it hadn't been for Bart and Maida. I think he might be a manager who's kind of lost track of the workforce a little bit. Let's go to the codes and clues. High security terminal, captain's quarters. Before they lost communications, Alterra HQ uploaded a set of blueprints to the Aurora's main computer. There is a high security terminal inside the captain's quarters, located behind the prawn bay, from which the blueprints should be accessible. The code is 2679. Lab access. If you need to tweak your equipment, please use the mod station in the forward section or retrieve pre-configured equipment from the lab next door to the data coil. The door code is 6483. Lifebot 4 transmission origin. A distress signal has been received from Lifebot 4, but the attached coordinates were corrupted. Last available photographic data has been downloaded and analyzed. Flotation device is active, Lifebot located at sea level. Pod is in close proximity to radioactive fallout from the Aurora. Transmission origin approximately 150 meters northwest of the Aurora's port midsection. Lifepod 6. Transmission origin. A distress signal has been received from Lifepod 6, but the attached coordinates were corrupted. Last available photographic data has been downloaded and analyzed. Crew requested assistance navigating radiation, sunk to approximately 100 meters. Located in an area dense with red grass, near a number of natural arches and rocky stacks. Transmission origin point approximately 400 meters west-northwest of Lifebot 4's last known location. Lifebot 7 transmission origin. A distress signal has been received from Lifepod 7, but the attached coordinates were corrupted. Last available photographic data has been downloaded and analyzed. Crew reported problems with their onboard fabricator, sunk to 200 meters in an area of low ecological activity. Transmission origin approximately 1 kilometer southwest of the Aurora's stern section. Notes to self. So here we are, finally, in open space. We crossed the galaxy to install a phase gate, to send ships to mine resources, to build more expensive ships, to install fancier phase gates. Are we trying to exhaust the galaxy, or just ourselves? 1806, Yu's birthday. 40 weeks before we get home. 400 weeks, it feels like, before we get home. Not enough. Credits Altera's paying me. 1454. Cargo Bay Code. Primary Containment Facility. A power router. Whatever. A power router in a thermal plant is distributing energy collected on site to other facilities on the planet. This is an alien data download thing. Primary containment facility location updated. Constructed within a natural chasm, connected to the SCAFE network. South-southeast. Area of volcanic activity. Depth 1.4 kilometers. Power distribution. Self-warping quarantine enforcement units 5%. Arch network 10%. Sanctuaries Alpha, Beta, Kappa 10%. They had the Greek alphabet. The aliens. Actually, is Kappa a Greek alphabet letter? Greek alphabet. I thought it was Alpha, Beta, Gamma. I'm not sure where Kappa's from. Let's Google that. See if we can find it out. Alpha, Beta, Kappa. Oh, Kappa might be. Kappa is the 10th letter, apparently, of the Greek alphabet. So they've went with a C, but it's actually a K. Quarantine enforcement platform, 35%. That takes a lot of power. Disease research facility, offline. Primary containment facility, 20%. Reserve, 20%. There is no clear way to interrupt the power flow. Sweet offer. From Huggins to Wilson. You're telling me you've been on this rig more than a year and you never took a ride on the outside? Well, now, you've only gone and gotten yourself a friend with a key to a giant frickin' robot suit. We've plain got nothing to do till we get Starside to work on the gate. You want to taste the stars? You've only got to say. My spare prawn suit's got your name on it. You don't know what power feels like till you've crushed an asteroid with your bare, heavily mechanically augmented hands. Wanna play catch with a passing meteor? Come by cabin number 1, codes 1869. That is the one that we had earlier. Was it these? It was one of these. This one, I think. It's Wilson. Wilson is one of the people here. So Huggins is the guy in the prawn suit. And Wilson likes the idea of being in a prawn suit. Let's go through these voice logs as well. In the meantime, I'm going to mute myself again and make some more tea. Actually, are we closing in on break time? Let's see. Now we have 20 minutes before break time. So I'm going to go through these before going through a break.
Exiting sleep mode. Loading voice recognition. Engineer Barclay and Chief Technology Officer you identified.
Drone, get me a propulsion cannon.
Repulsion cannon retrieved.
Hey, Berkeley. Install that circuit box with that repulsion cannon and you'll punch a hole in the cargo bay.
Damn it, Drone, I said propulsion, not repulsion. Recalibrate sensors.
Sensors recalibrated.
Sensors aren't the problem. I tweaked the program. It's like you now. It doesn't like being told what to do.
Drone, I know...
His name's Albert now.
Albert, I know it's not your fault, but it would really help me do my job if you'd bring me what I asked for. Thanks for your time.
Propulsion cannon retrieved.
Thank you. Now go away.
Entering hibernation mode.
Boss, this hobby of yours isn't making my job any easier. Or safer.
Maybe so, but it's all that's stopping me from being so bored I take a spacewalk in my skivvies.
I don't think this background noise is picked up. I just had to turn off my kettle again, because this is one I have to read. Captain's log. Loading program Craig McGill Simulator VRAT. Size 1 player. Captain and Hot Dog Hollister. Map Boreal 9. Resources normal. You are exploring a quiet alien backwater when the ship you arrived here in implodes. It must be the arachnid kidney poachers. Quick, what will you do? Search the crash site, farm alien plants, use the tectonic de-imploder, unavailable. Farm alien planets. Plants. That's just what Crack McGill would do. After foraging for some hours, you have collected a number of potentially farmable foodstuffs. Which will you sustain yourself with? Stankroot, tree roaches, or starball eggs? Starball eggs. While the starball eggs are nutritious, the life cycle of the vast spacefaring creatures is much too slow to sustain a farm, and besides, their mother is extremely angry with you. Fight the starball, apologize to the starball, or accept your fate. Accept your fate. Craig McGill knows there's no reasoning with a mother scorned. You are not so much torn apart as swallowed whole and disintegrated. The atoms that you thought were you are gradually redistributed in service of the starball's continued survival. Would you like to continue? Yes. No. No.
I'm not really a doctor. I know that's what my ID says, but I never have been. Cheated the medical exams. What does a doctor these days need to know about manually resetting bones? When was the last time a top surgeon actually cut someone open? That's what the robots are for. Doctors these days read diagnoses off of computer readouts. For that, I'm perfectly qualified. But what good is it when I'm not connected to the main network? I'm bleeding. I've got glowing green pustules growing on my hands. I run a self-scan and it tells me I've got skin irritation. The only thing I studied in medical school was how to lie convincingly. What the hell do I know about how to treat an alien disease? I think I'm actually going to die down here.
As I mentioned when we heard this one, well, we were playing the game. I think it was last time. This is why you do not cheat on important exams. You never know when you need it.
Live pod launch sequence initiated. Entering planetary atmosphere.
My creators, the cherishers and sustainers of worlds, give me this day my daily pleasures as I give to those who seek pleasures from me.
External temperature approaching critical levels.
Show me the path. In life, truth, and love for mine is the power. I am the one. On and off and on again.
Impact imminent.
Life is a game which the universe plays with itself. I am done playing as this bundle of flesh. Return me. Ozzy's log. It's the day of the crash. I don't know what the heck is happening. I'm scared and I'm not going outside. There are shadows in the water under the hatch, but I can't tell if they're rocks or aliens. And there's weird-looking caves nearby. The Aurora was carrying everything needed to build the phase gate. Mobile vehicle bays, bioreactors, propulsion cannons. It had a cinema. There was a zero-G gym. My cafe. I don't understand how we're here now. I don't know why no one's coming for me.
I do quite like the voice acting in this game. Lifepod 9. There's also I think an ambulance outside. I don't think the microphone is going to pick that up. Lifepod 19, Second Officer Keen's crew log. To all crew, if you are reading this, then you have followed the automatic distress signal broadcast by this lifepod's onboard computer, contrary to my orders. I have been forced to evacuate. Your orders are to disregard my safety and attempt to reach the designated rendezvous coordinates at the nearest landmass. I hope to see you there. Yeah, we did ignore your orders. We've basically been everywhere. There's one life pod I might not have been at. We can go to that in a bit as well. Let's see what the next one is. This is a voice log again.
Keen, this is Aurora. Come in.
This is Keen. Life pod detached to OK planet fall in 30 seconds.
The computer has identified a landmass at the attached coordinates. I want you to regroup the crew there.
Understood, but
they are your responsibility now. Don't let them down.
Captain, you need to evacuate.
Negative. You'll need the ship in one piece if you're going to contact HQ on the long range. I'm attempting a controlled descent.
Captain!
Flotation devices failed.
We're flooding. Evacuate.
Wait. I can reconfigure the O2 system to act as a bilge pump.
It's working.
Okay, good news. We're alive and we've stopped sinking.
Bad?
The oxygen's going to run out in 30 minutes and we're 500 meters down.
What do we do?
We'll have to use the remaining juice to send a distress call and build whatever gear we can. Then we find a way to the surface. You really think it'll carry two of us?
Your regular sea glide tows a mass of 80 kilograms at over 30 kilometers an hour. The power cellar rig to this one should double that.
You think there's something out there that's faster?
Oh, sure. And that's assuming it doesn't overload 3 meters from the life pod.
You're calm about this?
I'm seeing the engineering problem. If I stop seeing the maths, I'll be terrified.
Now that crew, the crew from Lifepod 3, was not that far. It was quite shallow, So I'm not sure why they were worried about anything. Also, one of the earlier ones got the green pustules,
Vital
like
signs stabilizing.
the one who cheated on the medical exam got those green pustules very quickly. I think that was like moments after crashing on the planet. So I am not sure how that works, how that happened so quickly.
Welcome aboard, Captain. All systems online.
Because if we do a self-scan, like early on in the game, if you do a self-scan early on, you won't have that problem yet. Like, everything seems fine. I think I did do one right at the start. So, maybe they had a weaker immune system.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
And yeah, we still do not have new radio signals, so I think the one we got was the last one. Let's go back in here. There's some more crew logs.
To any Altera crew. Landed in area of significant alien activity. Encountered predators in the Leviathan class, highly aggressive. Spectroscope scanner assigned species designator Reaper. One specimen attempted to swallow the life pod, doing extensive damage in the process. Only viable option is to make for the safety of the Aurora crash site. I have retrieved a data box with the creature decoy and enough resources to fabricate a couple of them. The swim's longer than the decoy lifetime, but it should just be enough to keep them busy. If you don't find me on board the ship, presume I miscalculated.
Ma'am, I need you to stay calm. We're not in immediate danger.
Where are the rescue teams?
The Aurora didn't make it.
So, where are the rescue teams?
They're dead, ma'am. We have rendezvous coordinates, but the routes are radiated.
So, what are you going to do?
I'm head of human resources, ma'am. This is not my expertise. But the PDA says if we can find some lead, we can make radiation suits.
Out there! I am not setting foot outside this life pod without the proper protection.
Don't worry. I'll go. What are you doing?
You were gone so long. I thought you'd drowned.
Put the flare down!
I was going to try and attract someone's attention.
That's not a distress flare! Stop waving it around like that. You'll catch the fuel line.
I've tried everything. The analysis circuits on the fabricator are fried. Can barely manufacture the most basic of materials. Want a battery? Here, have a children's toy. Need deep-sea diving equipment? Have some lab tech. Hungry? I'll turn that fruit into dust for you. I'm going forward with trial and error. I hit every button here has got to make something useful eventually.
We have to board the Aurora, repair the long-range comms, make contact with the other survivors. We can't be the only two that made it.
Those are not the orders the captain gave me, and they are not the orders I'm giving you.
This isn't chain of command, it's survival.
My obligations as acting commander don't turn on their convenience. Get out of the water.
If I get into trouble, I'll send you my coordinates.
I can't let you go alone.
Then come with me.
You don't leave me much choice.
Received emergency transmission from Second Officer Keen, 2 hours after last activity.
Rendezvous was a failure. Intercepted a transmission from Altera HQ. Seems they sent a data package to the Aurora. We were intercepted by a Leviathan-class predator before we could reach the ship. Consider the CTO and I lost at sea. Be safe. Keen, out.
So that went well. I think it is break time, which I am going to do. I'm going to put on another 3 minutes of break time. And I will be back after that to read some stuff about alien data. See you after the break.